Even now. Hello?
I am really here. Hi, Kendra. Oh my God, I
Hi,
can't
baby. Give
believe
me some
it.
light, sweetheart. There we go.
Is that better?
Yes. What's your name,
Okay.
baby girl?
My name is Saron, like Sharon, but no H.
No H. Sharon. So, Heron?
Saron.
Sharon?
Saron.
Saron. Saron.
Yeah.
Saron. Okay, Saron, where you calling me from?
Brooklyn, New York
Bro-
City.
Brooklyn. How old are you?
I'm 29.
29. What
This
you do
feels so
for?
surreal.
Oh, it seems so real?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm here. I know everybody
Oh,
says that, and I was like, I would never say that, but I'm still saying that. You need to get those T-shirts that say, "I can't believe you picked me." You need
I
to bring
actually do
those
have
back.
those shirts. I have them.
I need to
I
order
just got to
one.
put them on the site. We're
Okay,
back. They're back in stock too. So I'll probably do all that tonight or
that's
tomorrow.
awesome. Okay,
Okay. So we got Saran. I saying it right?
Saron.
Saran,
Uh huh.
Brooklyn, New York, 29. What's your ethnicity?
I'm Ethiopian, so I'm fully black, African, and both my parents are Ethiopian.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No.
No kids. What do you do for a living?
I work in tech. I'm a
Tech.
data scientist.
Data what, honey?
A data scientist.
Data scientist.
Yes.
All right. So we got Saran, Brooklyn, New York, 29, Ethiopian, no kids, works in tech, data scientist. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
Um, I I'm looking to date to for marriage. Um, eventually, maybe like in 2, 3 years, 4 years. Maybe not 4 years. Maybe 2, 3 years. I would like to get married and have children, and I would like to meet somebody who has that goal in mind, who is ready to settle down.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
One moment.
Or what's going on?
My deal breakers are somebody who is not family oriented. Um, I growing up, I had great example for a dad and a mom, and I know what family life is supposed to be like. I know what respect between two people looks like. Um, I know what being loyal within the family is like, and so ideally, I do want somebody who grew up like that, who at least has done the work, even if that was not their situation, has done the work, to look forward to something like that.
Okay. All right. An overwhelming amount of cousins want me to ask you about your Instagram name.
Uh-huh.
So it says Darky.
So it's a nickname. It's like kind of like a direct translation. Back home, my aunties and family, some of them call me chocolate, and like it's like a direct translation. It's like the Amharic word would be tayyim, asamasai. Like when people have a dark complexion, people will say, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful, just like sparkly fish." You know how fish, when you see them in water, their scale is shiny. I know this probably makes no sense, but I get that question a lot, and I've considered changing that name many times, but that's actually what it means.
Okay. I mean, here's the deal. When you come, this is where the world comes together. And I do like this part about my show is that we get introduced to different cultures and different backgrounds. Obviously, for some people, darky is offensive. I don't think that was your goal. I don't think that
No,
was your goal.
no.
But that's what happens when different cultures collide. So in your culture, you would be considered to be dark, like dark skin.
I would be considered darker. So like there are people in Ethiopia who have you ever seen the models from South Sudan? They're
Yes.
like really dark and beautiful. So
Yeah.
it ranges in Ethiopia, it ranges from, light skinned people, you'd consider very light skinned, to me who would be like in the middle, to very dark, people with much darker skin.
Okay. Stay in the light, sweetheart. All right. There we go. All right. So for the cousins that were considering and wondering where the IG name came from. That is the explanation.
You
Let's
know,
keep
yes,
going.
but I'm really, I think, gonna change it, because you're not the first person who said that, or the cousins. And I don't even want that confusion, if that makes sense. It's an account I created in high school. Um, so,
No, I understand. I mean, let me just say this as a dark skinned woman. I mean, it's to me, it's the best thing. I'm grateful to God. Thank you, Lord. If I had to pick out my complexion, I would pick it out every single time. I enjoy being
same.
a dark skinned woman. I'm very confident in my skin. I was raised to be confident in my skin.
Same.
So I also am understanding the one thing about my show is like I said, we're being introduced to different cultures. I didn't think you were trying to be offensive with the name, but
No.
I love that you were willing to give us your version and explanation behind it.
Yeah, like it was always a thing within my family, because if you see two of my other sisters, they're very, very, very light skinned. They look just like my mom, and I'm the only one who came out looking like my dad. And it was always a celebrated thing in my family. Like my other sisters, they always say, "Oh, you always get the attention because you always have the most beautiful skin." So it was never like, "Oh, you're the dark skin in the family." It was always like a really beautiful thing, if that makes sense. And that
Understand?
was always my nickname. Some will say, "Hi, chocolate," like my aunties, they'll call me chocolate. And like another name in Amharic, and that would be the direct translation of that, because I love my skin, I love dark skin, I love black people. I mean,
We
yeah.
got you, girl. We got you,
Yes.
girl. And not everybody should no longer, if you were offended, then you should no longer be offended because she explained from her perspective of what it means in her culture. Even
Yeah.
though it might mean something different in the African American black culture, it doesn't mean the same in her culture. So you have to respect it from her point of view and where it derived from. But let's continue.
Okay.
Because that's not why you're here, but I appreciate the dialogue. All
No
right. Does the
problem.
guy have to look a certain way?
No, he does not. As long as he takes care of himself and he's fit. And uh, yeah, I mean, I don't have a height requirement, to be honest with you. I think if he's an exceptional man, I don't even mind if he's my height, to be honest with you. Or even if he was a couple inches, yet like shorter than me. I'm about 5'7". It just depends on the quality and substance of the man more than his height. Of course, I don't mind if he's taller than me, and that would be fine also. But I would really make that exception if it's a kind, respectful person who is educated and who is always willing to learn and is patient and is respectful. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So the character and the substance matters to you first.
absolutely.
Okay, good to hear. Well, does he have to make a certain amount of money?
So, you know, I've been watching your show for a long time, and I've been asking myself, what do I answer when eventually, she asks this question. I don't want to say 50K, 60K, 70K. I mean, I don't mind if you make $1 million. I don't mind, but this is the thing for me. There could be somebody who makes $1 million, and then there could be somebody who makes $100,000. But what I always say is that guy's money is not your money. Just because he's rich does not mean it's my money, and people have different habits. The guy who's making 100,000 may be a lot more generous with me and willing to, um, I don't want to say take care of me, but you know is more responsible with his money than the guy who's making $1 million, who might be really stingy and greedy. And so I don't want to put, I mean, I don't want to, I want you to be comfortable. I would like an educated person, and I'm a big believer in education. And I think if you're educated, you'll never fail. And even if you fail, you'll always get up and have an option to get back to do something useful to society.
Well,
That's
100K into a million is that is an elite scale. So,
yes,
is it?
definitely. I mean, yes. So
So, would
most of
you
the
say
people
100K
who,
is the minimum?
I would like to say that. Yeah, I would like to say that. I mean,
Okay.
I want you to be comfortable. So, like 100K in New York, maybe like 60K in Texas.
That can be
It
true.
really
That's right. You live
depends.
in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, that
Yes,
is
I
true.
live in New York. So, everything is very expensive here. Um, so,
Now that is true. Different states, 100K in New York is like 60K in other places. Are you willing to relocate?
yes.
You are. Okay. Could
But
the guy
not like to the countryside. Sorry.
got you? What's the countryside to you?
Like, for example, I wouldn't want to go to somewhere like West Virginia or something like that.
Okay. Okay. Could the guy have kids?
I prefer not. I
Okay.
prefer not, but maybe if he has like one kid, I may be willing to make an exception, depending on the situation. I think it's all context based. If he had the child within a marriage, I would be willing to accept one child because I
Okay.
don't have children. So,
So you want kids?
yes, I do.
Okay. Let's do the kids or Kim.
Okay, one moment. Let's see.
You have on clothes?
Yes, I'm wearing a black top and
You have on pants?
yes, I'm wearing pants. They're like brown
Oh.
pants.
Oh, you're thin. All right. Look like you're in shape.
Huh?
I couldn't see. Look like you have panties the way my light is bright. We
Yeah,
can
they're
see you.
like they're like dark brown, very kind of nude, for a dark skin tone. So maybe it's because of the lighting. But yes,
No.
they're like tights, kind of like
Okay.
sweater tights, I guess.
No, we can see you good.
Yeah.
You look like you're in good shape.
Thank you so much, Kendra.
All right, so this is Saran, Brooklyn, New York. Do you want him in Brooklyn? I can't remember.
Yes, Brooklyn. Yes,
Okay.
Brooklyn, New York. Yes.
What's the age range you would date? You're 29.
You know what? I think I would like to date somebody older than me. Um, I don't mean no shade or anything, but most people and most men in their 30s, I feel like sometimes can be a little bit emotionally immature and just not too much substance. I wouldn't mind, even in the 40s. So I want to say between 38 to, I think I would even go as high as 50, to be honest.
38 to 50.
Yes.
38 to 50. Okay. When was your last relationship?
My last relationship was almost 4 years ago.
Okay.
It lasted like 7, 8 years. It was my first relationship. Got into my first relationship when I was 19. That's also when I lost my virginity. Maybe TMI. But it lasted until I was about 26 or so. And then we broke up and went our separate ways. And I wanted to take the time and just work on myself, get to learn myself, um, discover more things about myself. What do I like? What do I don't like? What am I willing to accept moving forward? What are my boundaries? What do I like? What do I not like? What has that relationship taught me? And I'm glad that it has happened because it's made me mature and I don't hold any grudges or anything like that. I don't like regrets. I like to take every experience as a learning experience and move on from it. So, yeah,
Okay. Um, okay. So, when was the last time you was intimate with someone? You don't have to answer.
I think I would like to skip that question.
Okay. What are three flaws you have to work on?
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of the sniffles because of the cold outside. But I have to work on, it's not a patience issue, but if I see some BS that I don't like or I don't accept, it's very easy for me to cut people off. I mean, in romantic relationships, not like within friendships. I think within friendships, I'm very patient, probably more than I should be. Um, that's one. Maybe like, working to stay, to work through things and stay, but sometimes, like, if a guy cheats, or if he's disrespectful, or if he raises his voice at me or his hands at me, it's just, and I don't think that's a bad deal. Some people could say that's a bad thing. I can get bored easily. um, I'm an intellectual person. I like to read. I love history. um, you know I would like the guy to know at least what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Don't be just like an airhead. And so sometimes when people are like that, I can get very bored and impatient, and that could be rude, I guess, sometimes. um the third thing would be too independent sometimes, in a way, like, I have a hard time asking for help when I need it. But I came here when I was 17 to the US, on a full scholarship. No parents here, no cousins, no aunties. So I had to be like that, if that makes sense. But I'm trying to get better at asking for help, and not just be too self reliant, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you,
Maybe that's not
Saran?
the right word, too self-reliant. What I meant to say is more like be more vulnerable and ask for help, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Why would a guy be lucky to be with
So
you?
why are
Like,
you making that face? Tell me. Explain to me.
I don't want to say you talk a lot because I'm not sure if that is maybe you probably share more than you have to.
That could be true. Which part do you think? Sometimes a person has told me before, you shouldn't tell people your vulnerabilities, that will be used against you, kind of thing. And I think sometimes I do that. Is that what you mean?
Well, I just think,
Or are
but
we
you're
on the
not the
same
only
page?
guest that does this. I think there is. I mean, there's times when I deep dive, so you have to answer. But sometimes people over answer questions, right? So, like sometimes certain questions people over answer it, and but you're not the only guest that does that. So I'm not saying that. But you asked me why I made the face. That was the reason behind it.
Okay.
Okay. But here's the moment you get to really shine. Why would a guy be lucky to be with you?
I'm a very empathetic person. Um, so I really care. When I do care, I'm a very loyal person. Um, I'm intelligent. Um, you will never be bored with me, whether that's intellectually, or especially if the person is, how'd you say, how'd you call people who get turned on by, uh, like, intellect? There's a term for it.
Say the last part.
Like, people who get turned on by intelligence. I'm
Oh,
forgetting
they,
the
there is a okay. Because I've a sapio is it sapiosexual?
sapiosexual. Yes,
Yes, I've
definitely.
heard that terminology a couple of times on the show.
Yep. I'm fit. I'm healthy. I like to take care of myself. I'm very much into self care. That means, physically, spiritually, and in every way. I come from a really good family. I'm educated. I have big plans for life. And, I think it's just about partnership. That's what I would like. And
Okay.
a partner for life, a partner in crime.
A partner in crime. Listen, you look great on paper. Saran, we got
Yep.
Saran, Brooklyn, New York. Does the guy have to be in Brooklyn?
No, he doesn't have to be in Brooklyn. I just moved here a year ago from DC. So if they're also in the DMV area, that's also fine. If they're willing to travel, I don't know if I would want to travel on for a first date, to whether that's flying out or whatever. But if they're willing to come and meet me, that would be fine too. If the distance is not a problem for them.
Got you. 29. She'll date 38 to 50. She's Ethiopian, no kids, works as a data scientist tech. You do want children though, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
All
I would
right.
like to get married. I'm
And you want to
dating
get
for
married?
marriage.
Yes, that's right. You want something serious. And then he
Yes.
can have kids. I can't remember.
I want to say no, but I said I would make an exception for maybe one kid or something like that, or maybe two if they were made in a wedlock.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Do you have an ethnicity preference?
Um, I prefer a black man,
Black man. Okay.
but I would make an exception um, if he's white. Also, if I feel like he's a great person, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
But that's my first preference.
Black man. Is 100K non-negotiable, or would you date a man that made less?
You know, no, no. Let's just start there. Yeah. I wanted to say it would be okay if the guy was like younger, like if he was my age and he made 70K or 80K and he's an intelligent person, he's a person who has plans for his life and how he's going to grow. That would be totally fine with me. Like I said, just because the person is wealthy, it does not necessarily mean they're generous or you know, sometimes they're the most stingiest people.
Got you. Fair enough. All right, let's do it, boo. So we know how to reach out to you. This is Saran, Brooklyn, New York, and the
Yes.
IG is Darky.
Yes. Double E, double Y. Yeah. That's
Double
my
E double
Instagram.
Y on Instagram. So we see you
Yes.
at the corner. All right, sweetheart. Well, you keep me posted how it goes, honey.
I will. Thank you, Kendra. Thank you
You
for
welcome.
your time.
You
Have a
welcome,
good
boo.
night. Thank
You
you.
too. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.